Wow. Hello. Welcome back to more Lego, where last stream we were only able to really build this because my ISP decided to limit throttle my stuff. So we're going back to it. We're going to try to do the next 3 bags as quickly or as best as I can do them. We'll see if we get better luck this time around. Recently it seems like things have been doing just fine, so if things do end up dipping, then I'll probably have to just cut the stream and call it there. Whenever we can recover and come back to this, I might have like another part of this whole thing built without any recording of it, but it is what it is. So anyways, let's continue onwards with bag number 12. And honestly, let's see, any news, any update? Honestly, I was actually ready to play some more Pokemon. I was really tempted to start playing some Pokemon. Unfortunately, I really want to play, but I can't just be playing Pokemon for the rest of my life, even though I would love to. But I have to get this done at some point, right? Like, I don't think there's any ways. I've committed to this thing. This thing has been sitting here on my desk for, I don't know, over 2 weeks roughly. So it needs to get finished. I don't want this thing staring at me being like, you're never gonna finish me. We're never gonna get done. I'm going to be one of your failures. So we're gonna put that behind us and finally wrap this thing up. Hopefully sooner than later, but only time will tell. So it looks like we're building an elbow of some sort. Not too sure. Let's see. Just making sure this is all being put together appropriately. So again, as I talked about in the last stream, which was a Pokemon stream, but just in case if it needs to be restated, we're in the holidays as of recording of this, so there will probably be some times on, sometimes off, and I may not be able to stream on regular occasions. So I'm gonna be aiming for 3 times a week. Normal schedule as like we've been going for the past few months. But if something does fall through, it is what it is. It's the holiday season, so I'm not going to be too harsh on myself. But I do want to keep up a consistent schedule as best as I can. This is getting shoved right here. There we go. Perfect. Let me try to mess around with a couple of things, because I keep forgetting that I mess with this. Sorry. I'm just making sure. Oh, that's not what I wanted. We'll see. I'm sorry. I'm messing with audio, so I'm gonna need to do a quick audio test as well. I'm messing with audio, so I'm gonna need to do a quick audio test as well. Okay, that seemed fine to me. The VOD will tell me a little bit more though, for sure, about that. I'm just making sure things are not blowing my ears out, and that you're still capable of hearing things here and there. So, because otherwise I'm gonna be screaming over the mic. Prefer not to, but I don't know, maybe it won't be the end of the world, because I always have to adjust this thing. This thing always has to be adjusted whenever I switch games and all that kind of stuff, so I think that's fine. We'll see. We'll mess with it a little more as the stream continues. I'll keep my eyes on that, make sure it doesn't get out of hand or anything like that. So hopefully you had a good week. Hopefully you had a good Thanksgiving vacation. Hope you're ready for Christmas. Oh god, Christmas is around the corner. And I am not ready for gifts. I mean, I've already started buying some gifts. Got some big stuff lined up for some gifts out there. Don't know if it was the wisest decision, but you know what? We do what we can. Let's see. this entire month, well, the start of this whole month, I've had that one news report that became a meme repeating on my head, or repeating over in my head, where it's like it was a lady on the news saying like, you know, don't buy grandma a gift, you know, prioritize the kids, don't buy grandma a gift, she don't need anything. I got that on repeat in my head for some reason. It's like, forget grandma, she don't need anything, prioritize your kids, kind of stuff. So I mean, I agree with those sentiments. Obviously the kids need to be prioritized, but I do find it a little funny and weird that that, out of all things, is the thing that got memed on. Because it's like, well, maybe because it's just like you know, just because money's tight, everyone feels like everyone gets it, we're all on the same page, we all think it's kind of funny in a in a sad way. I don't know. I'll change the topic, I don't want to talk about that. But Christmas gifts are being sorted out, thankfully now. Getting things ready. Gotta flip this thing. So I'm just happy I was able to get stuff figured out, because that was one thing I was stressing out about as well, was you know, whether I would be able to get gifts for people. I haven't finished buying gifts, by the way, but we are getting there. We're getting gifts, we're wrapping things up. You know, budget's a little tight, so gotta prioritize what I spend money on. But you know how it is. Let's see. Ow. It didn't physically hurt, but the pop was like, oof, that was a lot of pop. And then I need, what piece is this? What is this piece referencing? I think it's this, right? That looks right. Very interesting. There we go. All right, and then this is hanging out here. But man, I was talking about Pokemon a little bit earlier and how we were probably gonna switch over to Pokemon. Honestly, I've really been enjoying it. It always takes me a little bit to get into the swing of Pokemon. Equalize this thing. There we go. There's a little bit of tweaking there. But yeah, Pokemon has been it always takes me a little bit, like a little past the tutorial. Usually it's the tutorial where like I get the most winded in. Like I'm like, oh god, it's such a drag to play through the tutorial part. It's like 2+ hours of tutorial before you get to play the game, and then it's like another 2 to 4 hours of the noob grind to really, you know, get your stride in the game. And I'm at that point in the game where it's like, okay, I got my stride, I know kind of the direction I'm going with in Scarlet and Violet, and now it's just kind of like, now I just want to play. Now it's time to really enjoy the game. And I'm currently in that point in the game where it's like, okay, I get the mechanics, I know what's happening, I'm gonna enjoy myself now. And now once I'm in that point, it's like I don't want to get out of it, I want to keep playing. Yeah, like this. Okay. So it was really tough to be like, okay, no, we're not playing Pokemon, not today, because I really wanted to just boot it up and start playing a little bit more. But I have this thing to tackle. I gotta get this guy finished. And right now I'm not feeling like playing too much stuff right now. I was thinking about picking up stuff on the Steam Summer Sale. I might still. I'm also kind of like hoping that someone's gonna get me presents off of the Steam list. So, you know, I got my hopes up for that. Maybe I get a present or two off of Steam this year, so I don't have to buy every single game that, you know, is on my wish list. That's one of my goals. Hopefully it comes true. I don't think it will, but you know, you can always dream. Also, on top of that, I need new clothes. That's another thing I need. So I did ask for clothes. I'm finally at that age where, yes, I need socks. I need underwear. I need my essentials, damn it. I'm too lazy and irresponsible to get them myself. So I require others once a year to keep me afloat. It's quite funny. So yeah, now I'm at that age where I enjoy getting clothes for Christmas. It eventually happens to you. That's how you know you're old. But yeah, this year, as far as like clothes are concerned, it's mostly just like sleepwear, mostly like loungewear, sleepwear. That's what I'm asking for. I'm not asking for like a suit and tie, you know. Though maybe in the future I can get that kind of stuff too for Christmas. That'd be nice, so I don't have to buy a suit and tie. Because you never know when you need it, honestly. You never know when you're gonna need a suit and tie, but you know, one day. Did I grab the right stuff? Oh, they just like kind of fused together. Didn't see them. Also, I'm trying to think. What else? Some new One Piece episodes have come out, and I'm very excited to start watching them. The most recent one just came out. Okay, yeah. Because I don't know if I should spoil. I mean, I could probably spoil. I don't know who is not caught up with the. I mean, if you're on Twitter, you're probably already been spoiled. But yeah, we're getting ready to end Egghead. So the Egghead arc is getting ready to finish, which is a big deal because Elbaf is just around the corner, and with Elbaf means a lot of new products are coming out, specifically stuff for the TCG. Finally, maybe one day, Bandai, we can get some Elbaf merch for One Piece TCG. That'd be great. But not anytime soon, it doesn't look like, because right now we're still waiting for OP14 to come out in the West. Let's see. So hopefully, because from what I've heard, I don't know, is OP15 already been announced for what they're gonna do? I think it's because I heard that Paramount War is gonna be making a return in the game, in the TCG. So we're gonna have to wait for that, and then they'll eventually come to Elbaf in the TCG, which is when I'm excited. Like that's really like the point of the TCG that I'm waiting for, to get some of these new potential leaders, such as Loki and stuff like that. Be great to finally play as the leader Loki. Can't wait for that one. We're starting to see a little bit more about Loki, by the way. We're slowly transitioning out of the. In the manga, by the way, this is in the manga. In the manga, we're starting to transition out of the flashbacks, slowly getting back to current time. This is the wrong piece. So I'm getting excited for that. We're starting to get more Loki backstory, which is what this whole thing was supposed to be about. Ended up being about rocks primarily, but now we're starting to take a step back into Harald, which this was supposed to be the focus of, and now we're getting a little bit more from Loki, which is kind of like, it feels like this is where probably was intended, but Oda felt like he really needed to shove in the God Valley incident into this whole backstory, or this flashback, which I'm not complaining. I would rather have that, you know, all day, all night. I want a series dedicated to just God Valley alone. Realistically, I want I want Roger to get his own spin-off series. I want Rox to get his own spin-off series now. I want Kobe to get a spin-off series now. I mean, there's so many spin-off series that they could just work with now in One Piece. Like, after they discover what the One Piece is, the series is not dead. Like, even if we're done with Luffy's story, we have so many other stories to explore with this whole thing. It is insane. It's insane to think about. God, I love One Piece. Such a good medium. Such a good story being told. Definitely a once in a generation kind of thing. Of course, you know, maybe a little bit hyperbole, but honestly, this is the numbers back it up. You know, this is a very well received story, which is great news. Come on, stupid. Click. Come on, there. See, it wasn't that hard. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, that looks right. All right, next thing. Do. Okay. No. Do. I'm trying to think of something else to talk about. Not much to talk about other than just focusing on your Lego build. You know, that's the nice thing about this whole thing, is that it's kind of meditative. You just kind of sit here and you think about nothing. You just build, let the stresses of life fade away. This is gonna sit like that. So yeah, that's why I enjoy Lego builds. But sometimes I get, you know, you lock in and you're here for like over 2 hours trying to get this whole thing built. I'm trying to be somewhat responsible when building this thing, but man, you know, you get lost sometimes. You get lost in the sauce. Okay, I see, like that. Also, you're like, I'm also, you know, always trying to think of something to talk about, trying to keep words flowing through me as I, you know, organize and snap things together. Always thinking about the next thing to talk about, which, you know, in itself is a skill. Which, again, that's another thing, is repeating topics, talking in circles. That's a tough one. Sometimes you end up talking about the same thing for the past week or two, and you don't realize it until you start rewatching your streams back to back, and then you're like, oh crap, I just spent like 20 minutes, or I spent like 3 videos, like 6 hours worth of footage talking about the same thing over and over and over and over, ad nauseum, talking about the same subject. But you know, it happens sometimes. You know, sometimes it's unavoidable. Your stream of conscious can only take you so far. All right. Oh, it looks like we're going to be connecting them pretty soon. Nice. But yeah, I already showed that I got this piece, just in case, once we're ready to bring it back. But yeah, I've been playing Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, as I talked about earlier, and I've been enjoying it. I think it's great. I'm trying to think. What do I think about the game? Well, I have to finish the game first, right? Like, we're only like maybe a quarter or halfway through the game, so I really can't give like a solid opinion on it just yet. But it is good. I think it's tough for Pokemon to mess up their own game, which is unfortunate, because like every year it feels like they shave a little more off the top. And even though it feels like we're at the muscle part of the, like, we're past the skin, we're past the fat, we're at the muscle tissue, and it feels like this is still a good game, this is still fun to play, but they're still going, they're still shaving, you know. So it's a little tough, because it feels like every year, yeah, they're trying to push to see how much they can cut. I'm just worried that they're gonna push to the point where they break it. And if they break it, I'm worried if they'll be able to jump back from it. That's the thing you always got to worry about. But, you know, obviously, these guys don't care. They're gonna, you know, do whatever they want to do with their franchise. It's their franchise. It's just unfortunate when it's such a beloved franchise, especially by me. I love it, so I don't want them to mess it up. But they seem to have other plans. Okay, this is gonna sit. Oh, like that. Okay. Got a nice little growth right there. Looks very healthy. Now, Really? That can't be the only connection piece, right? It seems, well, no, yeah, it looks fairly flush. So right now we gotta add the foot, and then obviously we have to reinforce this. This is like barely hanging on by a thread. Yeah, it looks right though. Here we go. Here's some of that reinforcement coming in. Nicely done. All right, and then we're gonna start covering it up. But yeah, I've been thinking about, speaking of Pokemon, I've been thinking about like, what am I gonna do once I'm done and caught up with all the Switch versions of the game? Because we plan on playing X and Y, or AZ. We plan on playing AZ, and we plan on playing Brilliant Diamond. Those are the last two Switch games that we have to play. And then we're caught up with the current cycle of Switch games. So I am wondering, what exactly am I going to do afterwards? Obviously, the simple answer is switch over to the DS ones. Switch over to DS games. Start playing the DS games. Maybe play some modded DS games, like some of the modded versions, some of the modded Pokemon games. Start maybe introducing Nuzlocke and stuff like that into the channel. See what we can get. What exactly are we doing here? So it looks like, there we go. Just want to make sure. Yeah, that looks right. Okay, perfect. And then our next one is going to be these two little pieces, which are just going to be stacked on top of each other, from what I can tell. Yeah. Okay, interesting. And then they're going like that for some reason. Okay, whoa, careful, buddy. Did I grab the wrong ones? I think I did. All right, part separator. We're gonna have to fix a boo-boo. There we go. Not too bad. So I think it is, yeah, it's this one. There we go. And then these are gonna sit here. There you go, that feels better. Excellent. And then, not this one. This one. But this guy, where is this gonna sit? There we go. Nicely done. Okay. Now we gotta flip this and start. There we go. That's the orientation. That's the correct orientation. And basically do what we, I think this is going to be just doing the same thing, but on this side. There we go. Let's see. But yeah, I'm excited to try out some new Pokemon games. Well, not new, because I played basically all of them. The only ones I haven't played yet are the new AZ, like obviously the newest one that just came out. I have yet to play. So I'm excited to play that when we get the chance. I don't know if it's going to be the next game we play after Scarlet and Violet. It would make sense to some extent, but I also want to get whatchamacallit, I want to get, make sure this is correct. Okay, that's getting bumped up here. Okay, yeah. I do want to get Brilliant Diamond out of the way because I liked it. I did like playing it, but it's not the best version of that generation. Diamond and Pearl, the what is it? Platinum. Platinum is by far, I played Platinum and I know for a fact that Platinum was a lot more fun to play. Brilliant Diamond is good. It's good nostalgia bait to come back to, but it's definitely not my cup of tea. I would have preferred to play Platinum over Brilliant Diamond, but I want to play what's on the Switch and then switch over to the handheld games later on. So that's the reason why we're going to be playing Brilliant Diamond over Platinum, even though I would prefer to play Platinum. So that's currently the reasoning right now. It could change in the future, but at the moment that's the plan. And there we go. As far as Legos are concerned, man, whatever this does get done, this will probably be the last Lego for a hot minute. Oh god. Okay, you guys are gonna have to pretend I'm gonna do this on camera because this thing is massive. This thing is starting. I gotta get it on camera. There's not a lot of space between here and the camera. Like, as you can see, my hand takes up about half of the screen. Well, a little more than the screen. So you can imagine that trying to get this big old thing here on camera is going to be quite difficult. We'll see. So we got to get this joint into there. And then it's got to rotate downwards. Okay. Okay, let me see if I can bring it on camera. All right, buddy. Obviously, this thing's gonna have to move out of the way. We got a lot of little extra parts to play with, which I'll deal with in a minute. Sorry about the bumps. There's gonna be a couple of bumps here and there. All right, I got the manual on the floor and we are currently attempting hip surgery right there. There we go. It has to rotate. We want this to get in there. Hold on, I need the manual. Manual! Okay, gotta get it physically in there. All right, so that got done. I don't think you saw much of that. I'm a little nervous to rotate it down because I feel like something's gonna pop. But there you go. As you can see, there's the hip. It has been now connected. All right, not bad. Now what's next? Because I see a lot of little decorative parts. Yep. This thing's gonna have to stay here for a minute. Oh boy. I didn't think this massive thing was gonna be, oh, sorry. I didn't think it was gonna be such a, man, the other side of this thing is gonna be really hard to work on. You're not gonna be able to see what I'm doing here. You can barely see my hands here. So you need to trust that, you know that I'm doing stuff. So we're grabbing these two parts. And we're gonna put them somewhere on over here. As per the manual's request. Oh, there you go. All right. All right, next up, we are grabbing this stick and we are grabbing this plate. We're shoving right here and we're placing this one back here. So that's the next step. Okay, and this is getting pushed into the hole. Gorgeous. Flush with the base now. Okay, next step. Next step. You're not gonna be able to see, are you? We need those parts. Okay. This and this. Where is this stuff going? Oh, here it is. We need, okay. That's gonna go right here, and then this is gonna connect over here. There we go. And then this is getting connected to the leg. A little bit further up the leg. How far up the leg? Oh, right there? Okay. Next part. Vegetation. Oh, vegetation is our next step. So we got, let me see, where's the camera visible? There you go, there's the green. There's this, and a leaf. We got a leaf and 2 little buds. There you go. That has to go randomly all over the place. Not really, but somewhat. So this is gonna go here. This is gonna go back here in the middle. I have a preference on where. A little hard to tell. Let's say right there. That's probably fine. Just doing our best, following the steps. Ow. Sorry, this is sort of one of those, you're gonna have to just trust me. Trust me, bro, I know what I'm doing here. Unfortunately, you won't be able to see it. Very unfortunate. But we're working through it. Next one. 2 more little parts. These are going, oh, I gotta rotate this thing. Oh god. All right, Mr. Dinosaur. I don't have a name for this guy yet. All right, we're gonna say that's pretty good. We're gonna grab, is there a second one of these? I don't have another one of these. See, that's a little unfortunate. I do not have an extra one. Let me, oh, that was bound to happen. It's gonna be in this bag. Yep, there it is. Found the missing part. It was still in the bag. Nothing to worry about. All Legos are accounted for. You can trust me. There we go. And then next one, it's gonna hang out. Doot, 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 doot. Oh, I think you can see that one. Yeah, you can see this one. Let's go. Okay. All right, next one. Oh, it's the Among Us shape. Let's go. Hell yeah. We got the Among Us shape. We win. This is a victory. This is a victory for mankind, for meme kind, if I do say so myself. Make sure I'm not gonna show up on camera. What the hell are we looking at here? My god. What a mess. What a mess of Lego bits. Okay. Oh. Alright, and then for some reason this is gonna be like a little skin tag and just hang off the side over here, just in case you wanted to know there was always be a little Among Us piece on this Lego build. So don't fret. There'll always be a little skin tag, or I guess in this case, bone tag. Next one is that. Turn that sideways. Oh, the little Among Us is gonna have the little skin tag. Okay, it's gonna have this little claw. There we go. Little articulation right there that you can barely see, and then we're gonna cap it off. So nobody will ever be able to see this glorious piece of engineering. If I can figure it out. Come on. Don't make me look like a fool. Let me pop this out. See if I can get this to pop in. Doesn't seem to want to pop in. Why doesn't this want to go in? There we go. Now it's in. And we still got that little bit of articulation. Let's go. Ta-da. All right. That was a bit of a pain. I have an extra little leaf thing here. I think that's gonna just be backup leaf. Little piece of candy to keep around, just in case if we need it. Let me double check, make sure I'm not like forgetting a green bit. Make sure that all the little green bits are accounted for. Yep, that's fine. All right, we're good. All right, next bag. This little man can not stay here. You can't be here, buddy. I know, I love you too, but you gotta find like a secondary home. You're too damn big. I'm gonna put you above and hope that you don't crush me. Let's see. All right. Please never go crashing down. Live there for now. Now we'll move you in a minute. Ugh. Next bag. Whew. Man, what a pain. I'm guessing we're doing that all again. Yep, we're gonna be doing that whole thing a second time. Fantastic. Try to take this as far away from the mic as I can. Make sure everything comes out. There we go. Make sure this is all still visible. All right. Do. There we go. That is good enough right there, I would say, right? Right, fellas. Markiplier. Let's see. Where are we gonna start with? We are doing actually, let me get my tracking back and sorted after all that moving around. There we go. Blah, 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 blah. All right, let's see. We gotta figure out where all these missing bits are so we can actually get started here. Here we go. Yeah, like that. Do. There we go. All right. Next is this, with this. Wing. All right. Now, what are we doing here exactly? Okay. Is it just one? No, we need 2 of these. I gotta find the second one of this. See how easy it is to do that. Just by a quick glance around. Looking to be increasingly harder. There it is. Okay. And then just one little yellow Lego. How peculiar. Look at this thing. It's got like little bits all over the place. It's poking from every direction. Man, this thing is not very comfortable to hold. And then flat little bits. There we go. All right, these are connecting. Like that. Okay, I can do that. And then just connect these on the side like this. And Bob's your uncle. Looking pretty good here. Dun, 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 dun. Wow, wow. Love smooth jazz. Not a lot of the current smooth jazz. Not a lot of people making smooth jazz nowadays. A little unfortunate. I'm sure it exists, but it is not in like the zeitgeist of the current human conscious. Like, it's not super popular, is what I'm trying to say. I'm sure it exists, but it has not made the mainstreams, which is a little unfortunate. Come on, right there. Just connect. There you go. Next bit. Gonna be this little brown bit, and then this little TIE fighter that I assume is gonna sit on top of, like that maybe. There you go. Now I gotta figure out. I am looking for these little smooth step down bits, and they're not making themselves super obvious where they may be, so I'm just poking around. There we go. I believe it's those. And then we need 3 of these. Thankfully I have 2. I'm sure a third one will appear as predicted. Do I have to worry about spacing? No, I don't have to worry about spacing. This is all correct. Don't fact check that. I'm building it to spec. There we go. Like this. And then this right under here. Now, we're going to be doing this. Trying to get pieces for this sorted. It's a little weird T-shape item. Let's see where that ended up. Here it is. Found it. Ta-da. Thinking about some future games to play. Oh man, it's been rough because I've been primarily just playing a lot of demo games. I'm sure you've noticed, like when we're not doing Lego or Pokemon, we're playing demo games of pretty popular games. But that's mostly just to see if I can catch the eye of a couple of people, a few extra people. See if, you know, if I play something popular, not necessarily purchase, but play something popular, maybe I'll catch a few extra eyes and then they'll be more interested in seeing what I got going on. Hang around a little longer than just one stream. Also, just trying, you know, new games in general is always fun. But obviously the commitment to purchasing them can be a little rough. So whenever I do get the opportunity, I do like to play the demo if I can. And then obviously there have been times where I played the demo and it has like blown me away. So that does tend to happen. There we go. That's more like it. That's a lot more flush. And then this is gonna sit like this. No, like that. There we go. Strange little nub. Ow. That hurt. I just like indented my, no, I'm fine. I don't have any marks, but this whole thing just dug into my hand as I squeezed it, because I squeezed it. I didn't squeeze it here. I squeezed it like right there, and it like I felt it right here on my little joint, my little bone, my poor little finger. All right. Next bit. And then we have one of these. We need another one. There it is. All right. Now, what are we designing here? I think we're designing little flaps, or little like speed wings to go on the side. Come on. Come on. You know you won't go in there. There we go. Making this bad boy more aerodynamic. Curves all over the place. Air will never get trapped on this thing. Let's see. This next bit is gonna be this thing. It's gonna live right here. Bow, 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 bow. All right, and then from here, we're gonna, hopefully you're able to see all this. There we go. Do 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 do. All right, we're starting to make some really good progress here. Getting a lot further than I was expecting. Thankfully, I mean, you know, internet has been working in our favor today, so that's a big positive. We have this and another yellow bit. And then that's gonna sit here. I think I remember this. This looks familiar. I think I remember building this last time. Yeah. There we go. Gotta make sure they're on the right side. The color coding is correct. There we go. Let's see. If there's a game you want me to play, by the way. I know my thoughts are kind of long pauses in between thoughts and you know, paragraphs, sentences, that kind of stuff. But coming back to the idea of, like, you know, playing popular games on the stream to get a couple of eyes, I'm always open to suggestions and ideas. If you want to leave a comment, you can. Do not mind. Because, you know, I try to play games that I like watching, and I think that does a good job for the most part. Because chances are, if you like watching it, chances are other people would like watching it. So that kind of helps when you're a streamer and a viewer. I mean, it's one of the small advantages of being a fan of VTubers and doing VTubing, is that, you know, the content you like watching will usually do pretty well if you choose to do it yourself. So one of the slight advantages of getting to do this. This is gonna sit like that. Though, to be fair, I don't see a lot of VTubers do Lego builds. So that's another thing you gotta keep in mind. But Legos in general, I think Legos are just fun. Legos are fun to build. And it's a great activity for just streaming, especially if you're very good at yapping. If you're a great yapper, oh man, you can get lost. You can get lost in the sauce doing this. Unfortunately, I'm the type of person who, in general, doesn't have a lot to talk about. So I don't tend to bring a lot to the conversation, to the pool, to the table when it comes to just yapping about nothing. Not great about yapping about my day. If there was something worth talking about, I would definitely talk about it. But, you know, just talking to the void is, you know, enough. And I do most of this just for, like, you know, just for the fun of it. It's very therapeutic for me. There we go. And then honestly, streaming things has actually helped me. I've heard this sentiment in the past as well, but actually streaming the games helps you actually complete your library of Steam games. Because yeah, that was one thing, is like, oh, if you have a giant library of games that you haven't played and you don't know how you're gonna get yourself through it, just stream it. Boot up Twitch, get OBS, and just start streaming your games. Just start playing, and I guarantee you will burn through all of your backlog within like a year or two if you just stream your backlog of games. It's been great. I've been able to catch up on my backlog, at least. Granted, I don't have a very big backlog of games that I have to play, because I'm pretty like deliberate when I want to play a game. Well, when I want to buy a game, I'm pretty deliberate about what game I want to buy. So I don't have like a huge backlog of games that I want to play, but, you know, just haven't had the time to. Oh, that's not correct. It's this thing, actually. Actually, it's this brick, in case you wanted to know. There we go. But yeah, but that's another thing. Streaming your Legos is a great way to burn through your Lego collection. If you've been wanting to build, like, if you have a backlog of Legos or Gundam, in this case, man, a part of me is kicking myself for not streaming sooner in my lifetime. Because, you know, like 5 years ago, I probably could have started streaming, because I had a huge backlog of Gundam kits that needed to get built. And I just never, like, I never streamed it, so I never was super motivated to finish them all. And I do technically have one unfinished Gundam kit that I can't finish because I lost pieces for it. you know, it's been over 5 years. Those pieces are, you know, gone to the wind. The pieces that I missed or that I lost are gone to the wind. Most of that Gundam is still in one piece. So, how is this? Like this. Okay. And then it's flush. But yeah, if I had a backlog of Gundams that I wanted to build, streaming it would have been the smartest idea. I could have started this whole business, well, not business, but I could have started this whole thing like 5 years a little sooner and been building on camera my Gundam collection. Because I was getting really into it. Like I was getting like, when I stopped building, I was getting into modding, painting, weathering, priming, airbrushing. Like I was deep. I was deep, man. I was gonna, you know, invest into like compressors and stuff, even get a job along with my friend who did get a job doing miniature kit painting. I've talked about that in the past. But that was cool. Good days. Now I wish I streamed it. Would have definitely motivated me to keep going to kit build. But that's fine, you know. My hobbies have shifted since then. And that was during school. Like that was during school time. Like I was going to school. The Gundam kits were a de-stressor for me, not necessarily something for fun. It was something just to get my mind off of schoolwork for a few hours. So I wasn't constantly thinking about school and assignments that I had to do. That's what I recommend also. If you're in college, which, you know, bless you if you're in college, man. I know it's tough out there financially. I know it's tough to want to have a higher education. Especially with loans being the way they are right now, just being, you know, just astronomically high on interest rate and whatnot. Cost of tuition going up, what feels like probably every year. These little bits. And especially if you're trying to get into a career that is not like concrete, like bedrock concrete. Because yeah, unless you're trying to be like a doctor or a lawyer or something like that, job market's not very kind to careers that are outside of those bedrock style careers. Which is something that, you know, I mean, of course, I knew to some extent, like, oh, you know, if you're not gonna be a doctor, you know, you're gonna have a hard time getting into a different profession. Your skill set's not gonna be as well utilized. But, you know, I was still under the impression that the job market would be good. I didn't think it would completely dissolve by the time I was out of school and looking for work. But you know what? Here we are. Like most. And man, there's gonna get to a point where even doctors, there's gonna be a surplus of doctors out there. Because everyone's gonna be trying to get job security over, you know, anything else. And then there's going to be too many doctors. And then there's going to be a shortage of work for doctors. Which is going to be insane. Like, for doctors and lawyers to have shortage, wild. Wild to think about. And then everyone's going to have to become a mechanic. And then there's going to be a shortage of mechanic work. And then we start from square one again. Let's see. Yep, that's right. And then this thing. Exactly. Something like that. And then this. Because yeah, in my field of study, programming was the concrete work. That was like the stuff that, like, okay, if you're gonna do this, being a programmer is where you want to head towards. And it's looking like even that is now, you know, very shaky business. Very unsteady work. Just recently too, it feels like. Just recently, programming has become a lot less stable of a career. which is unfortunate because honestly, like, programming is so difficult. Well, it's not difficult. It's well, no, it is. I don't want to undersell programming, but I would say like anybody can do it. But just like being a doctor, you know, it's definitely for a specific type of personality to want to pursue further. But anybody who wants to learn it can learn it, but you have to really want it. Is I think the sentiment I'm trying to pass along here. Here we go. So yeah, I was never really built for that stuff. I didn't want to do it, so that's why I never pursued it. But again, would have been smarter too, in hindsight. But I'm fine. I'm okay right now. You know, things are working out. Just wish it wasn't such a struggle, you know. But it's nice to know that you're never really the only one in the boat, in the struggle bus. You know, misery always loves company, so I can find some solace in that. Do. There we go. A little button piece right there. Now this is going to attach to here. How this is going to attach is something I have yet to figure out. Actually, I'm not even done. Wait. No, okay, yeah. Okay. Like this. This is the orientation. That's not correct. Try again. There we go. Ta-da! I figured it out. Me smart. Now we attach to here. There we go. So that's been attached. Now we're gonna flip it, flip our little wing, grab this, and grab these bits, and then try to make sure the orientation is gonna match correctly. Getting these little corner bits to face the right way. Could be difficult, but don't worry, I'm here to hold your hand. We'll get through it together. And that's getting connected over here. And then how much of this is going to get covered up? A little hard to tell, but I think like that. Oh, this wants to come off. There we go. Press that down, make sure it doesn't come off. And then 1, 3. This is gonna sit back here like that, right? Yeah. Okay. There we go. Now, whatever this strange thing is, these two. Oh yeah. In recent news, I've heard PewDiePie is retiring for like the 3rd or 4th time. Man, what a legend, right? The 2nd or 3rd time he's retiring. Unbelievable. That's fine. every couple of years. He says he's gonna retire, and then he gets bored, and then comes back to consecration. Obviously he has a kid that he has to, you know, worry about and think about, so, you know, he might be gone for a while. I mean, again, I'm not like a fan of PewDiePie, you know, but obviously it's next to impossible to avoid news about him. So whenever he makes like a life decision like that, everybody on the internet has to hear about it. So eventually it worked its way down to me, and now I heard about it. I mean, good for him, obviously. Wish him the best of luck. This is... like that. Because, yeah, I'm sure raising a kid is not easy. You know, not having kids, but, you know, having been an uncle to like 3 different kids. I understand how difficult it can be to raise kids. They need a lot of attention, a lot of mental stimulation. You got to make sure that they don't get messed up, or that you don't mess them up. Because that can be difficult. You never know. You never want to mess up a kid, or you never want to be the cause of a kid getting messed up, or at least that's how I see it. And then you have last bits. Everything got used here. All these. There was not anything left behind, no extra bits. We got to use the whole buffalo. In this case, we got to use the whole Lego for this build, for this section of the build. There we go. Ta-da! You did it. That's basically, this whole thing was one entire stream because of like how bad the internet connection was last time we did a Lego stream. We were only able to build that much, but now we get to do bag 14, and then hopefully future builds we'll be able to do 4 bags, and we won't have like this weird pause in between building. Because I knew this was going to take a while. I think it was an understatement to think I was going to be able to do this within the year. I think this is going to leak into the next year. But yeah, I can't have like a lot of breaks in between builds if I want this to be done in a timely manner. So I gotta lock in and get building. A lot of this stuff is looking familiar. Starting to look like the stuff we did at the start of this whole stream. Some different pieces though. You definitely see some new pieces in here, which is strange. Considering I think we're building the rest of the leg. Okay. Let's see. What does this thing have in store for me? I'm gonna move this a little bit. What exactly are we doing? Okay, yep. Just like the start of the stream, doing this part again. Now we're gonna go hunting for all these little bits again. We're gonna be looking for 6 of these. I feel like the thing that takes the longest when building Legos is actually hunting for the right pieces. I don't think that's like a hot take. I'm pretty sure that's everyone's struggle, is looking for the damn Lego that you're supposed to be putting together. Looking for the stupid piece and thinking that Lego ripped you off. got one more piece to find before we start sticking stuff together. Honestly, if I were to take the time to organize the bags I'm gonna build, this would probably be like speed running. I'd probably be able to get this thing done in like an hour, maybe an hour and a half, realistically. If I were to take the time to organize my bricks. Come on, where is this one dumb piece? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm literally down 1. Oh, brother. Come on. Lock it. Where is it? Better not be in the bag. I want to flip out. Where are you? Where are you? I swear, I've looked at every single piece at least twice now, in the vain hope that I'll eventually run into it. Oh, here it is. Found it. Make sure to reset the camera. Alright, now we can continue. Now, all that time just to do this small little segment. There. How quickly that was put together. I know. What's another thing that I can remember to talk about? Trying to think about news. Come on, stupid. There we go. Thinking about gaming news. Oh yeah, the Game Awards are happening soon, I think. I've been hearing people talk about how Expedition 66 and Silksong and all these other contenders for the grand prize of being the best game of the year are, you know, all these rumors being circled around about these games. And I mean, I'm excited. I haven't played any of the current games that are being talked about. They're not my cup of tea. I'm trying to think. I haven't even played Silksong yet. But, you know, I'm rooting for them. Hopefully a game that is good wins. A little redundant, but I mean, it's the truth. Hopefully a good game actually wins and not just, you know, just some like fan bait wins. Like some games in the past, in my opinion, have. Because yeah, there have definitely been some favoritism out there. In my opinion, I think some games have won Game of the Year without earning it. Hades 2 is another one. I keep forgetting Hades 2 came out this year. That one I know is probably good. I know Hades was good. I haven't played it yet. But Hades I know was massive success. Of course, when you make a sequel to such a big success, inevitably, you know, it's going to be compared and ultimately fall short. Because everyone's, you know, association with the series is always the first game. And trying to follow that up, no matter how much time passes, never going to live up to the hype, unfortunately, is, you know, how it always breaks down, in my opinion at least. That's what I've noticed. Sequels have a very difficult time living up to the expectations of the fans. And it looks like instead of innovating, they just regurgitated. It might be like a poor choice, might be a poor choice of words to use. But, you know, that's the simplest way to put it. I don't know if Hades 2 really innovated enough to justify the existence of it. I hope it did, but just, you know, what little gameplay I've seen of Hades 2, it really does just look like more of the same. Like everything that you did in Hades 1, it looks like you're doing in Hades 2, but, you know, as a female character. female protagonist. I don't know how the dialogue is, if the story is any better. The story of the first one, you know, not much there, but you know, how much can you really do when it comes to like Greek mythology? A lot of it's already been, you know, written out for you. What you gotta do is just follow it and stay somewhat consistent with the known legends, and you'll probably do fine. We got this piece. Let me see if I can find the other half of this piece. If I can pick it out from the pile of plastic. There we go. But yeah, I've heard a lot of good stuff about Expedition 33. That's the one where, like, that's the game I've heard the most about. And I would probably say it's gonna probably end up winning Game of the Year. That's where I would put my bets. If I was a betting man, I would definitely bet on Expedition 33. Not only have I heard a lot of talk about it, I've heard a lot of praise about it. So if I had to put money on it, it would definitely be that game. I think it has the best chance of winning Game of the Year. However, of course, you never know. You never know. Something I completely forgot about could be winning Game of the Year this year. I wonder, does Dispatch count as... No, yeah, because it is this year. Even though it came out late this year, it is still part of this year. So there's an argument that Dispatch could win. Of course. It's a fairly young game. Like, it just came out, so people are still talking about it. And from what I've seen, I haven't watched Dispatch. I'm aware of the game and the gameplay. I hear a lot of good things about like the actual dispatching part of the game, which is fun, because for a short time that's something I did get to do. I was a dispatcher for a very short window of time, so it could be something I actually might enjoy playing. But I heard that the dispatching part of the game was good, but the rest of it, the story is up to interpretation. Stories are always kind of like subjective, I would say. Like, you know, depending on the person, if the story resonated with the person, they're obviously going to put it much higher than somebody that didn't vibe with the story or the characters of that story. So I would have to like either play the game or watch someone play the game and decide for myself if it's you know, what I think about it. But from what I do know about the game, it seems very similar to like Telltale games. In fact, I would probably bet money that a large majority of the team that's working on Dispatch is probably former members of Telltale. Because if I remember correctly, Telltale got dissolved during a buyout, I believe. Because I haven't heard when of them in quite a while, and if memory serves, I think they did get bought out. I don't exactly remember. It's been a couple of years since I've had to think about Telltale games. Oh man, I'm still sad that the game just escaped my mind. What is it? It's the one. Oh damn it! Now I have to look it up. It's been a while since I played. This game has been brought up. Hold on. Wolf Among Us. Did Wolf Among Us 2 ever come? It looks like it did come out. No. 5 months ago. Is it still happening? Developed and published by Telltale. Okay, so Telltale Games is still around. Ad Hoc Studio and Telltale Games are working on it. Athlon Games. Okay. Who is Athlon Games? I've never heard. I don't know who Athlon Games is, but it looks like Telltale Company is still, well, it looks like Telltale Games is still around, which is great to hear. They just haven't really been pushing things out. Owned by, who the heck is this? Technologies Holding Limited. Acquiring controlling stake. Oh, okay, so they did get bought out. So Athlon Games did buy out Telltale Games. They own the majority hold on the company. SNK 2018, my god. They don't have a lot of games under their belt, but they have some pretty big titles like Batman Shadow Edition, Wolf Among Us 2, Samurai Showdown. Yeah, Wolf Among Us 2 has not been determined for a release date, but it is happening. I mean, well, we don't know if it's happening, but it is a thing that could happen in the near or distant future. A little unfortunate. I mean, it's fine. Hey, very likely Wolf Among Us is probably in development hell, which is sad to hear, or sad to think about, I should say. Because that was, honestly, I love Telltale game. I love Wolf Among Us. That was my game out of all of them. How far is this going in? Is this flush or not? Like that? I'm gonna say like that. But yeah, I really love Wolf Among Us. And it seems like Dispatch, no, Dispatch seems to be more of like the romance interest, like more romance heavy, more like a VN, visual novel, more like a visual novel style game with potentially quick time events and you know, decision trees, stuff like that. But I'm not sure. Again, I haven't played Dispatch, so this is all just like second or third hand information I'm bringing out. But a lot of people did love Dispatch. That's the one thing I do know, is that a lot of people have very strong feelings about that game, to the point where they backseat streamers, and it's been a nightmare for people to stream because people are constantly trying to, you know, push their agenda on the game to the streamer. So it has like definitely pushed people away from the game, well, away from streaming the game, not playing it, but streaming it. Especially the ending, from what I hear. The ending seems to be like where people really want you to get one specific ending. If you don't get that one specific ending, they freak out in the chat, it seems like. Or if you don't get their OTP or their like their headcanon couple, they'll also freak out about that too. So yeah, it seems like a nightmare to stream, but probably fun to play on your own, as most things are. As far as like if I plan on playing Dispatch, I probably if I play it, it's gonna be like a few years down the line, because it seems like it has like a very similar fan base to like Undertale, you know what I mean? Where it's like people kind of want you to play the game in a very specific way, and if you don't, they're gonna freak out about it. So if I can, I would like to avoid that kind of stuff. Let's see. But in the future, maybe, if the game really is as good as people claim it to be, I will probably in the future play it. Oh no. Let's see. Okay. Let's see. Now I feel like I just grabbed these parts. Did I not? No, I did not. All right. So we'll see. Because maybe like a game like, well, right now it's like actually not a bad time if I want to play Dispatch, because like I don't have, you know, the backseaters to like dictate how I play the game. I could probably play 90% of the game uninterrupted, and if someone does end up jumping in, you know, it shouldn't be hard to manage one person. But who knows? Famous last words, right? So I don't know, maybe I'm a little more on the fence about it. But that was a game I've heard a lot of good stuff about, is Dispatch. where people seem to have very strong opinions about the game, and that's fine. It's good when a piece of media makes you feel something. That's how I felt about what is that game? Mouthwash. Mouthwash was a game that made people feel something, and I feel like if you could do that with your game, I think you've succeeded. You did something right. If you can make people feel something, you know, have a reaction to your medium, because that's something artists, you know, that's something you strive for when it comes to art. You want people to look at your art and feel something. You don't want them to just, you know, acknowledge it. Like, they don't, like, there's one thing to acknowledge your art and say it's good. There's another thing when it sparks conversation. And that's something that's the thing, that's the magic dragon. That's the dragon that everyone's chasing when they get into art. That's the magic dragon, is trying to get someone to feel something. Try to convey an emotion through your work and see if it translates. Trying to get certain things built. This. There we go. We did it. Do 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 do. All right. This is gonna live. Oh god. There we go. That's the orientation. This is where it's gonna be stuck for the rest of its life. Yes. Never to move again. Here it is. All right. That there. And then that's going right here, covering up this whole mess of stuff. Very fancy, very fancy. Yes. All right. Where's this other piece? There it is. I see it. Okay. All right. So this goes here. This one here. And then just like that. Okay. All right, now we just gotta assemble this thing. What is it? Dark brown, high elevation. Okay, 1, let's see, 2, 3, 4. Let's see. Something else we can talk about. I don't have a very big opinion on, but what is it? Like a week or two ago, Avatar: The Last Airbender Magic set just got released to the public, and it was a good set. I'm gonna say it's a good set. Especially because after Spider-Man, a lot of people were really nervous about Avatar, about Aang, about the whole set, the next set. And it seemed to have gone over pretty well with fans. No one seems to be complaining about the set. Everyone seems pretty happy with the set. How do I feel about the set? I haven't bought any cards from the set, unfortunately. Just not interested, really. The cards that I am interested in are earthbending cards, primarily for the Get Rock deck. I have a Get Rock monster deck that would very much like earthbending cards in it. However, a lot of the earthbending cards are extraordinarily expensive, specifically the Badger Mole, looking at you. And I am not anywhere interested in buying a Badger Mole or, you know, some of the more relevant earthbending cards. I think it is primarily just earthbending. It's just the Badger Mole, I think, is the one that is the most egregious card released so far. That's the one that's like overdone in price. Man, okay. Let's try to figure this out. So that's this part. This is like this. This gets connected to here. From what I can see, looks like it. That is quite the leg. Look at that chonk. Holy moly. Okay, we're rotating it this way. We're grabbing one of these, slapping it right there to make sure we marry those two parts together. And then we're grabbing some little extra bits here, and we're going to be shoving them right here. Oh, I didn't like that. Make sure not to put any unnecessary stress on the joints. There we go. Make sure nothing got messed up. All right, we're looking good. Everything looks pretty Gucci here. All right, hopefully we start reinforcing this other bit. Yeah. There we go. Now this is going to start feeling a lot more solid. Okay. Let's see. Any movies? Oh yeah, that's right. Five Nights at Freddy's 2 is coming out soon. Get hyped for that. Let's go. Another Freddy movie. Very similar to last time. We'll wait and see. Okay, again, like we talked about with Hades, it's going to be a very similar story to Five Nights at Freddy's. I don't imagine the second movie is going to be able to eclipse the first one. I don't think that's possible. However, I'm still pretty excited to see it. I still want to see it. Am I going to see it in theaters? Probably not, but I will see it once it comes out, like on streaming services for sure. And I'll, you know, give my full thoughts when I do get to see it in theaters, or when I get to see it on streaming. But I'm excited, of course. You know, I want to see what they do with it. I want to see, like, if Blumhouse is, you know, because they treated the first movie right. They did a good job with the first movie. Nobody's going to argue that. Well, they could have done better with the first movie. Well, we'll say that. There's always room for improvement, but they did a pretty good job considering that nobody was expecting anything good from the Five Nights at Freddy's movie. Just like the Minecraft movie. Nobody expected anything good from the Minecraft movie. Now that a bar has been set, I don't know if the second movie is going to be able to push that bar up. I suspect it's going to sit below the first movie, which is unfortunate because the first movie is, you know, not super good. Oh god, we got to bring that big boy back. Oh, okay. Oh brother. And then we're going to do we're going to be messing around with it. Okay. Thankfully he's just above camera. So, all right, you big idiot, come on down. Please don't fall apart to many pieces. I'm trying to think, how do I want to do this? Well, it's still on camera. This thing stresses me out so much. Okay. Unfortunately, again, we're in a situation where you're probably not going to be able to see a large majority of what I'm doing here. You're gonna have to just trust me, bro. Thankfully, though, I have a lot more space right here. Like, there's actually like working space here, and I can keep the manual up here. So if I attach right here, okay, you definitely can't see that. There you go. Okay, perfect. All right, so now that's attached. You start working on the next bits. Start getting this bad boy slapped together. All right, and then this is here to cover this up. And then we're going to be inserting our rod into our T-Rex skeleton. Come on. We got some resistance. There we go. Nothing a little lube. No, don't say that. I had to stop my thought. But I think it was a little too late. I think my thought had escaped my brain before I could stop it. Okay. And then this is gonna sit here. I got some greenery to deal with. Hang on. Ugh. Please. Okay. This. Put these two. And these. All right. Now, let us put them in random spots that have been predetermined for me so that they don't have to be actually random. Is that going on right? It's hard to tell. It's not exactly the easiest angle to see. Okay. Keeps rocking back and forth. There we go. Okay. Oh, great. Come on. I don't think I'm gonna be able to get this piece out, boys. I think it's stuck there. Nope. Damn it! Let's see. I'm gonna have to bring out a knife. This is a job for a knife. Actually, not a knife. Maybe this thing. Nothing like a good piece of steel. Well, not steel, but hardened metal to get our Legos out. Minor damage. It will survive. Alright, let me make sure I put the orientation. All this stuff is in the right place. Actually, I might have jumped the gun there a little. Because I think that's supposed to live there. Yeah, I think I did that for no reason. Oops. Yeah, I totally did that for no reason because it's going right back where it came off. That was dumb. That was unnecessary stress that I put on myself. Oh well, we live and learn. What can you do? No. Alright, this, and then two of these green things. Now, where's this stuff gonna live? Oh boy, okay. Oh, brother, where does this go? You can't see that? There you go. Alright, next bit. Among Us. Among Us. Among Us. The Among Us piece. Alright. We are going to be constructing that little hangnail. Oh, it's going to be on the other side, huh? It's the inner thigh. Okay. Here we go. What, princess? There we go. And then this is gonna... You can't see any of this! Oh, brother. Because I'm already struggling with this. Like that? Really? Is it like this? Or like this? I think it's like this. There we go. Yeah, okay. Next page. We're building some nails. It's gonna be gorgeous. Okay. And then I do that little circle thing. There it is. Alright, this one's a little tough. Especially not being able to see what I'm doing. There we go. That was far easier than last time. Let's go. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Little wiggle right there. Never hurt anyone. Alright. Next thing. Oh, we're making toes. Let's go. Alright. I forgot. Did I ever name this dinosaur? I don't know if I ever gave it a name. Well, its name is Stupid. That's its current name. Alright, so we need 6 of these. 6 toes, really? Oh. Weird. Didn't know dinosaurs had 6 toes. Unless this is for 1 foot, which, no, still raises some questions. Alright. And then 6 of these. And then need these guys. How many of these guys? 6. Well, of course. I'm pretty sure we're gonna need 6 of everything. 3, 4, 5, 6. There it is. Little buttons. We need 6 little buttons. Let me see. Gotta count these. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Got 1 extra button that I did not need. Little ball joints. No! No, they're going everywhere. Damn you. Go that way. Live there. No, no, don't go anywhere. Stop moving. There we go. 6 nails. Let me make sure. Yep, we got 6 nails. And that. Are these different colors? Let me double check. Oh, 12. We need 12 of these. Okay, yeah, we have 12 of these. That's quite the number. And then 6 of these. 2, 4, 5, 6. We only have one extra little piece. We have one extra of those little buttons. Now, how exactly are we putting this together? I'm not too sure. We're just gonna kind of follow the instructions and make sure we don't mess up. Let me put one together and then I can go on autopilot. Just so I know how to put this together. There we go. And then... yeah, this is not something I'm going to be able to autopilot. There we go. And then... nail. Nail, right? No. Almost messed it up. Kinda a little. This goes here first. And then we nail it. Nail it to the toe. There we go. 1 of 6 toes. Quite gorgeous, if you ask me. Beautiful little articulation back here where we have a ball joint. Gorgeous. Got some slight rotation there for some dynamic poses. Oh. Oops. Quite fragile, but it's fine. You can always rebuild it. Okay. Let's see. Now, I gotta do the rest of them. God. I definitely did not commit to memory how to put this together, so I'm gonna have to look at the instructions again. So let's just kind of do a couple of batches. Surely nothing will go wrong if we do a couple of batches together, right? Right? Yeah. I think we'll be fine. Nothing ever goes wrong when you trust your gut. That's what I say. Let's see. Is this the thing I want to talk about? Tough. It's tough to be like, yes, let me bring up the next subject. Let me get my cliff notes from the decrepit brain of mine. We'll move on to the next subject. There we go. He's moved over here. There we go. That's what it was. We are just about finished with this. It's great. We did 3 bags. Last stream we did 1 bag, so I feel like we're breaking pretty even right now. You know, patting myself on the back for a job well done today. All right. All right. Now we move on to the next step. Right? Or have I've missed a step. In fact, I missed a step on all of them. It's this step right here, where we add the little top of our nail. There we go. Now it's going to be a lot more structurally sound. Beautiful. Let's see. We can talk about next stream. next stream, if it's not going to be Pokemon, it will probably be probably some Megabonk. I have the Megabonk DLC downloaded, or not DLC. I have the Megabonk demo downloaded, and I'm guessing I'm gonna like it because a lot of people seem to have liked it, but a lot of people have already moved on from it. So we'll see. There we go. Nope, right here. And then finally, Blast Toe. Nope. Almost forgot a step. There we go. Alright. We got 6 toes. What are we doing with these bad boys? Where are they going? Finally. We're connected them. Alright. Let's see if we can do this. Okay. Oh no! Please. Don't fall apart on me, Betsy. There you go. Alright. I can do this one for you guys. You'll be able to see here. As long as I can see. But and then do I have to press them down, or can they just kind of free float? Kind of free float. This guy's going here. Nice, let's go. We got our little chicken feet. All done up. Pretty like, oh god. Ugh. There you go. Pretend you didn't see that. Gorgeous little toes. Yes. Alright, next one. This one's a little tougher. There we go, but we got it. That one's a little flatter to the ground. Make sure they're facing the right way. Yeah, they're facing the right way. Okay. These are meant to be a little bit higher up on the ground. There. They're not as well. Oh. Make sure to spread the toes as best as I can. Are these supposed to be facing this way? Like slightly curved up? Yeah. All right. There we go. I'll try to get you the shot of the toes. Little feetsies. No guarantees it's gonna work, but here they are. Ooh, very nice. And then we'll try to get the other side. These are the ones I'm a little more worried about because you can see they're facing up a little bit higher. Like they're not as flush to the ground as the other set of toes, but nonetheless, they look good. And then I'm a little nervous about turning this guy sideways because I feel like he's gonna fall. He's gonna crash and burn, and I'm gonna be really sad. What's this thing? Literally no idea what this is. Fell out. I'm gonna ignore it and pretend it's not a piece of Lego. It might have been. But, okay. Ta-da! Whoa. There he is. Him in all of his glory. There we go. Like a handful of extra little parts to snack on later. Man, got really messy here. I don't know how it got so messy. It might have been that thing. That thing might have... Dummy over there might be a little dirtier than I expected. But anyways, there you go. There's the stream. We got Ding Dong Dingus over here built, and I'm quite happy with it. We got them legs and them toes all wrapped up, ready for prime time. Probably when this thing is fully done, I'll probably take a final picture and post it on Blue Sky so you guys can see the finished product, or you can just Google it if you don't want to wait. But yeah, this is gonna be very hard to film. I can already tell this is gonna be a difficult one to get the whole thing on camera, unless I move the rig, unless I move this whole rig around. But anyways, thank you guys for hanging out with me today. That was quite the event, quite fun. Just short of 2 hours, so great. It looks like Peachy is playing. Oh man, we don't have the numbers to. Well, I wouldn't feel good rating into Peachy with just like the numbers I currently have. But check out Miss Peachy Keyed if you got the time, of course. Friend of the channel. We've done a lot of different collabs together, so highly recommend. Good people over there. But yeah, I will go ahead and leave you here. And next stream, if we're not going to play Pokemon, we'll be playing some what is it, Mega Bonk. We'll be playing some Mega Bonk, and then we'll be trying a different game out. Do I have Steam open? I probably don't have Steam open, but we'll be doing the Raccoon Coin Pusher game. A demo just got released for that not too long ago, and we'll be checking that out relatively soon. It looks quite fun, very easy to break, very breakable game. In the same vein as Clover Pit, where it's a gambling simulator. But yeah, thank you guys. I will wrap things up here and love you and leave you. And love you and leave you for today. So until then, until next time, adios, sayonara, bye, 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 bye.